Hi students. So in the last lecture we have seen one problem of simplex method. Today we will see the another problem of a simplex method. So here this is a problem maximize. Again the problem is of maximization. So maximize z is equal to 10x1 plus 15x2 plus 20x3. So this is the objective equation and this is subjected to the constant equation. So there are two constant equations 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 6x3 less than equal to 24 and 3x1 plus 9x2 plus 6x3 is less than equal to 30. Again this is of a less than equal to type of problem. So first step is express the problem in the standard format. So there are the two constant equations. So we have to add the two slack variables, and when to add the slack variable, when there is a less than equal to symbol, then we have to add the slack variable. When there is a greater than equal to symbol or sign, we have to subtract the slack variables. This is we have seen in the last lecture. So here less than equal to type of problem. So in the standard format, so standard format 2x1 plus 4x2 plus 6x3 is plus we are adding a slack variable, that is s1 is equal to 24. So this is standard format. We have removed this less than equal to sign and added the one slack variable. Similarly for another equation, so that is 3x1 plus 9x2 plus 6x3 plus s2, we have added another slack variable and equating with the right hand side, that is a 30. So our objective equation z becomes, now z is equal to 10x1 plus 15x2 plus 20x3 plus, now here 0s1 plus 0s2, because we have added two slack variable and coefficient is a 0 for that. Okay, so this is our standard format equation. We have converted into the standard format. Then we have to prepare a simplex table. So we can say that is a first simplex table. So first simplex table, how to prepare first simplex table? In the last lecture we have seen that we are starting with the basis. So here in the basis we will write all the variables in the z equation. So z equation there is x1, x2, x3, s1 and s2. So I will start with this here x1, x2, x3, then s1 and s2. So these are the variables in a z equation, that is objective equation. Now basis variable, we are starting with the basis variable, that is slack variable. Now s1 is a slack variable and s2 is a slack variable. So below this basis we will write the s1 and s2 because these are the slack variable. Now we have to write the coefficient here in front of s1 and s2. So in s1 is in equation number 1. So coefficient of x1 is a 2, x2 is a 4, x3 is a 6, s1 is a 1. There is a no s2, so that's why it is a 0, and right hand side, that is a 24. So here after s2 I will write a right hand side, that is a b. We can say b or we can write a right hand side RHS, no problem. So here this become in 2, 4 is the coefficient of x2, then 6 is a x3, 1 is s1, 0 is s2, and right hand side is a 24. Similarly for equation number 2 where s2 is a present, so this is a 3, 9, 6, then s1 is not there, so s1 is 0, s2 is there 1, and right hand side is a 30. So we have to start with the basis variable. In front of basis we have to write all the variables x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, and right hand side. And below that we have first initially started with the basics slack variable. So that is slack variable s1 and s2. After that we must know that cj, that is cj means coefficient of this basis variable in the objective equation. So 10x1, so x1 coefficient is 10, so I will write x1 is a 10, x2 is a 15, so x2 15, x3 is a 20, s1 is a 0, s2 is a 0. So that is in the objective equation, that is z equation. So that's how we have to prepare the simplex table. So this is first simplex table. So after completing this, we have to write the basis variable coefficient. CB is a coefficient of a basis variable. Now S1 coefficient is here, S1 coefficient is 0, S2 coefficient is 0. So here x1 is 0, s2 is 0. Then next row is a zj row. So how to calculate the zj row? So zj row we are calculating by, so that 2 into 0 plus that 3 into this 0. So 2, that is x1 in the x1 column, 2 into coefficient of basis, that is 0 plus 3 into 0, so that will become 0. Similarly next 4 into coefficient of basis variable, that is 9 into coefficient of basis variable. So 4 into 0, 9 into 0, 0. So we have seen that in the first table all the values becoming 0 here because we are multiplying with the 0. Okay. Then next row is a cj minus zj row. So Cj minus Zj, so we are having a Cj value is a 10, Zj value is 0, so 10 minus 0, 10. Here 15 minus this 0, it is a 15. Similarly here 20, similarly here 0, 0. Okay, so here we have reached. So when there is a problem of a less than equal to type of sign, then all the values in Cj minus Zj row must be negative or 0. So that is the rule. So when all the values in this Cj minus Z0 negative or 0, then we have reached the optimum solution. But in this problem, if you check, it is a 10, 15, 20, 0, 0. So 0, 0 is there, but all these values are positive values. So we have not reached to the optimum solution. So we have to go for another simplex table or next iteration. So for that, we have to calculate the key column and key row. So key column and key row. So what is the key column and key row? So for finding out the key column, we have to select the maximum positive value. So maximum positive value. So here 10, 15, 20, 0 and 0. So from that maximum positive is a 20. So we have selected this column, or we can say this is a key column, or another word is we can say entering column. So entering column. What is entering column? We have seen in the last lecture. So I will explain once again. So entering column is nothing but so x3. So instead of this s1 or s2, x3 is coming instead of s1 or s2. Anyone s1 is going or s2 is going, and instead of that x3 is coming. At the same time, we have to find out the living row, or we can say key living row or key row. So for finding that, we have to calculate the theta. Theta is a ratio. So theta is a ratio of theta is nothing but right hand side divided by entering column coefficient. So what is this entering column coefficient? So we have selected this row. Okay. So we have selected this x3 row, and here 6 is the entering column coefficient of s1 row, and this 6 is the entering column coefficient of this s2 row. So right hand side here is 24 divided by entering column coefficient, that is 6. So 24 by 6 is equal to 4. Then here 30 by 6, so that is equal to 5. So we got this theta. Now how to select the exit, we can say living row or key row. So where there is a minimum positive value. So minimum value is 4 and here it is 5. So minimum value is 4. So we will select this 4 row. So here we can say this is a key row. Now we got the key row and key column. So once we got the key row and key column, we have to find out the new S1 row and new X3 row. Like that we have to solve for the next iteration. For solving the next iteration, so actually I will explain the what is meaning of that key row and key column. So we have selected this key column, or we can say entering column, means X3 is coming instead of S1 or S2, and living row, so this first row is a living row, means S1 is a living row. So S1 is going in the next table, and instead of S1, X3 is coming here in this place. Okay, so that is the meaning of a key column, finding key column and key row. Here say S1 is going and X3 is coming instead of that S1. So next we will write new S1 row. So we have to make the calculation. For that calculation, we will start with the new S1 row, and that formula is old S1 row divided by entering column coefficient. So here we have to prepare this new S1 row. So 2, 4, 6, 1, 0, 24. So these are the values, or we can say old row divided by entering column coefficient. So 6 is the entering column coefficient. First I will write the old S1 row. So old S1 row is here 2, 4, 6, 1, 0 and 24. So here 2, 4, 6, 1, 0 and 24, and divided by entering column coefficient. So entering column coefficient is this 6. So we have to divide this total 6, 6 divided by 6, divided by 6, divided by 6 and divided by 6. So our new S1 row now becomes, so 2 by 6, that is 1 by 3, 4 by 6, that is 2 by 3, 6 by 6, 1, here 1 by 6, 0 by 6, 0, and 24 by 6, that is 4. So this will now become our new S1 row. So in the next table we will write this value 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 1, 1 by 6, 0 and 4. Now similarly, we have calculated for S1 row. Similarly, we have to change the S2 row. So for changing this S2 row, there is another formula. So changing S2 row, there is a formula new S2 row. I will use another color. So here new S2 row is equal to old S2 row minus entering column coefficient into new S1 row. We have previously prepared this row S1 row. So old S2 row, I will write first old S2 row. So that is 3960130. So that is a 39601 and 30, and entering column coefficient, again entering column coefficient for this, again it is a 6. So here entering column coefficient is this 6 into, we have to multiply 6 to the each value of a that previously calculated S1 row. So I will write here, so 6 into 1 by 3, so that will become 6 by 3. Then 6 into 2 by 3, that will become 12 by 3, or we can say 4. 12 by 3, that is nothing but the 4. Again 6 into 1, that is 6. Then 6 into 1 by 6, that is 6 by 6, or we can say 1. And 6 into 0, 0. And 6 into 4, that is a 24. And we have to subtract this. So minus sign is there because old row minus this. So 6 minus 3 by 6, 3 by 6 by 3, that is nothing but again 2. So 3 minus 2, that is 1. 9 minus 4, 5. 6 minus 6, 0. 0 minus 1, minus 1. 1 minus 0, 1. And 30 minus 24, that will become a 6. So here we got this 150 minus 1, 1 and 6. So that is a second, or we can say newest row. So similarly, we have to prepare the next simplex table. So in the next simplex table, we are writing x1, x2, x3, then s1, s2, and then here we can say right hand side or b. So we have here calculated new S1 row. So new S1 row means what? Instead of S1, X3 is coming here. So I will write here X3 is coming here. And what we have calculated that first 1 by 3, 2 by 3. I will directly write as it is. So that what we have calculated. So I will use another color. So here you will get 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 1, 1 by 6, 0 and 4. Similarly, new S2 row that we have calculated 1, 5, 0, minus 1, then plus 1 and 6. So here we have written. Similarly, like a previous equation, we have to solve this for Cj. We know that Cj's coefficient of x1, x2, x3. So that are 10, 15, 20, 0 and 0. So I will here I will write Cb coefficient of basis variable. Now x3 coefficient of basis is 20 and S2 coefficient of basis is here 0. Now how to calculate Zj? We know that 1 by 3 into 20 plus 1 into 0. So that like that we have to calculate the Z0. So 20 by 3 plus 0, it will become 20 by 3. So again it 2 by 3 into 20 plus 5 into 0. So that is a 40 by 3. Then here 1 into 20 plus 0, that is a 20. Then here 1 by 6 into 20, that is a 20 by 6. Then 0 and then 80. So last row is a Zj minus Cj minus Z0. So Cj minus Z0. So 10 minus 20 by 3. So I will directly write that as 10 minus 20 by 3, that will become 30 minus 20, that is 10 by 3. Okay, so you can solve this. I will directly write the answer. So it will be 10 by 3. Here it will be 15 minus 40 by 3, that is a 5 by 3. Then here it is a 0, 20 minus 20, 0. Here minus 20 by 6. Here it will become 0 minus 0, 0. Okay, so here Cj minus Cj. We know that all the values must be negative or 0, but here again positive value comes, so we have to again prepare for a next table. So how to select the key column? So which one is the having a maximum positive value? That is a key column. So we have selected this key column. Now we have to find out the key row. For that we have to calculate the ratio theta. Theta is nothing but right hand side divided by entering column coefficient. So this 1 by 3 is entering column coefficient and this one is an entering column coefficient for first row and for the second row. So here RHS is a 4 divided by entering column coefficient 1 by 3. So 3 going up both sides, so it will become 12. And 6 divided by entering column coefficient is 1. 6 by 1 is equal to 6. So we know here it is 12 and 6. So in from these two values we are selecting the minimum positive value. So 6 is a minimum positive value. So this will be hero or a living row. So what it means? So living row means S2 is going in the next table, and instead of X2, S1 is coming instead of X2. S2. Okay. So for that again we have to calculate now new S2 row. So you know that new S2 row is equal to old S2 row divided by entering column coefficient. So old S2 row is a 1, 5, 0, minus 1, plus 1 and 6. So divided by 1. So total equation divided by 1. Now it is become a, as it is, remaining as it is. So here your new S2 row. At the same time you have to prepare that new previous row, new x3 row you have to find out. So for that you know the formula, new x3 row is equal to, you know the formula, that is old x3 row minus entering column coefficient into new, you have calculated that S2 row, this previous row you have calculated. So old x3 row I will write that is 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 1. So I will write here directly. So that is 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 1, then 1 by 6, 0 and 4, minus entering column coefficient of that is 1 by 3. So entering column coefficient here it is minus 1 by 3, and you multiplying this 1 by 3 to this all the values. So here you are multiplying to all the values. So I will write after directly multiplying by minus 1 by 3 to each. So here it will become minus 1 by 3, here it is will become minus 5 by 3, here 0, here minus minus plus 1 by 3, here minus 1 by 3 into 1 minus 1 by 3 and minus 1 by 3, that is minus 6 by 3. So if you solve this you will get the values minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. So that will become a 0. Then here 2 by 3 minus 5 by 3, you will get a minus 3 by 3. 1 minus 0, that is 1. 1 by 6 plus 1 by 3, that is 9 by 18. 0 minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3. 4 minus 6 by 3, here it is a 6 by 3, or in the simplified way you will write 0 minus 3 by 3, that is a minus 1. Here 1, 9 by 18, that is a 1 by 2, minus 1 by 3 and 6 by 3, that is a 2. So here now it will become your new x3 row. So you got this new s2 row and new x3 row, you have to put in the again in the table. So we know we are starting with the bases. So x1, x2, x3, s1, s2 and b. Here now here we have to write down this new s2 row. New s2 row means what? X1 is coming here. So instead of here I will write x1 is coming here, and values of x1 is 150 minus 1. So that will 150 minus 1 plus 1 and 6, and new x3 row that we have calculated 0 minus 1 plus 1, 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 and 2. Okay. So here we have calculated. Now we know that Cj x1 coefficient is 10, x2 is 15, x3 is 20, s1 0, s2 0. So x1 coefficient is 10, x3 coefficient is 20. Now how to calculate the z0? So z0, that is nothing but 1 into 10 plus 0 into 20. So it will become 10 plus 0, 10, and 5 into 10 plus minus 1 into 20. So 50 minus 20, so it will become 30. And 0 into 10, that is 0 plus 20 into 1, 20. So here it will be 20. And minus 1 into 10, that is minus 10 plus 20 by 2, that is again 10. Minus 10 plus 10, that will become again 0. And 1 into 10, that is 10 minus 20 by 3. 10 minus 20 by 3. So 10 minus 20 by 3. So 30 minus 20 by 3. So that is a 10 by 3. Okay. So here again you will get a 10 by 3. And 6 into 10, that is 60, plus 20 into 2, 40, that is a 100. Okay. Now last row we are knowing that last row is Cj minus Z0. So 10 minus 10, 0. 15 minus 30, minus 15. 20 minus 20, 0. 0 minus 0, 0. 0 minus 10 by 3, minus 10 by 3. So here now here all the values are negative or 0. So we have reached to the optimum solution. So what is optimum solution? Optimum solution is x1 value answer is 6, x3 answer is 2, and z answer is 100. So we have to find out the Z max. So our Z max here, Z max will become 100, and x1 will be your 6, x3 will be 2, and there is no x2, so x2 is a 0. So this is your final answer. So you got the x1 is 6, x3 is 20. So you can put into the Z equation. Our Z equation is 10x1 15x2 plus 20x3. So you can put x1 here, so you will become 10 into 6, like x2 is not there, so 15 into 0 plus 20 into x3, that is 2. So it will become this 60 plus 0 plus 40, you will get 100. You can cross check by like this. So Z max is equal to 100, x1 is 6, x3 is 2. So this is our final answer. Like that you have to solve for an iteration until you get the here negative or all values 0. Again, if here there is a positive value, then you have to again modify for the next iteration. So thank you.